Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Morris, and I wanted to take a few minutes just to talk to you about how to search and find books in our library. So, if you are on our library homepage, which is the website that will pop up when you first get on the computer, it should be already on the catalog, but by chance, if it's not, and you see this page right here, you're just going to click on that tree that says NEISD Library Catalog. Once you click on that, that is actually going to take us into our catalog to search for the books that we have in our library collection. Now, there's two ways you can look for books. One is you can use this search bar and type what you're looking for into the search bar. Or the next one would be to search by some of the genres that they have for you. Sometimes boys and girls will say, Miss Morris, where are the fantasy books? Or Miss Morris, where are our scary stories? And you can solve that problem right here on the homepage. So you would just say, oh, fantasy, you click it. And once you click, it's going to pull up all the titles in our library catalog that match that description. So there are a couple of things you need to pay attention to. The first thing is on our first book, Mighty Jack and the Goblin King, you'll notice that there's no triangle in the corner, and right here under our call number, it says ebook. Now that is super important because if you are trying to find this book, you will not be able to find it in our library. That means you need to go in through Launchpad, go to our library resources folder, and access Overdrive, and you'll be able to find Mighty Jack and the Goblin King there. Our next book, Artemis Fowl, you can see there is this green triangle right here in the corner. It says it's in. Now, most of the time, that is true. And when you see that, you may go to this part of our shelf, FCOL, and you should be able to find what you are looking for when you go to that location in the library. And I say should because we have discovered there have been multiple books in pretty much every day that occur that when we go to find them on the shelf, the computer tells us that they are in and they are nowhere to be found. And this could be for two reasons. The first reason is someone is not using their shelf marker. And remember that shelf marker holds the place of our book while we decide if that's the book for us or not. And then if you change your mind, you put the book back on the shelf and remove your shelf marker then and only then. The other reason is that when we are self-checking out, sometimes people hear like a kind of buzzer, and it means that your account is either blocked because you have a late book. It could also just mean you have too many checkouts. So sometimes people are thinking that they checked out their book just because they scanned it, but it's not actually happening. So you'll notice that Mrs. Morris and our library assistant, Miss DeLeon, we are definitely hovering around and trying to watch you guys and make sure you know what you're doing when you're checking out your books. It's super important because then we know where they are and who has what. So since this book is in, I can go to the fiction section, which is alphabetized by the author's last name, and be able to find it. Every now and then you'll see this lovely red triangle, and that means that somebody has this book checked out and you will not find any on the shelf. Okay? So that's one of the ways you can look. To get back to our catalog, we just press that Destiny Discover button, and it brings us right back to this home screen. And so say I want a Pete the Cat book. I can search for Pete the Cat, and I hit enter afterwards. Even if you pick something off of that screen, you have to hit enter. And then I can go through and look and see all of our Pete the Cat books that we have. And he's quite a popular guy, so most of them are checked out, but we do have a lot in today. So that's how you can look for a specific thing. So that is a little crash course on how to use our library catalog. Once you have found the book you want, say it was that Pete the Cat book, you need to make sure there are pieces of paper and there are pens or pencils over by every computer. You need to write down the call number. So say Pete the Cat and the Lost Tooth is exactly what you want. This code, that call number, that is like the book's address. That tells us where its home is on the shelf. So you need to write down EDEA. And when you are coming to ask me where to find that book, you need to look on the catalog and you need to write down the call number. Once you have the call number, I will be able to help you find your book. Okay? I've noticed in the afternoon there are mobs of kiddos following me around. Miss Morris, where do I find this? Miss Morris, where do I find this? Now you guys know how to use our catalog. Search the catalog, try to find the call number. If you are searching the catalog and you're trying your hardest to find the call number and you still haven't found it yet, then please raise your hand and I will be more than happy to come over and help you try to locate that book you desire. So thank you guys for listening, and I look forward to seeing you back in the library after our book fair.